Welcome, fellow bookworms, to Timber's Den. My name is Whitney, and I have a reading update for you. Today, we're going to be talking about The Rainmaker by John Grisham. This is one of my 25 Days of Bookmas books. This was actually the one I was anticipating enjoying the least, and I ended up loving it. So, I'm going to be really interested to see where it falls once I've read all the books and it's all said and done, because right now, absolutely loved it. So, we'll talk about that in just a second. Before I do, though, just a reminder, we do our book of the month reads and discussion questions every Monday. So if you're interested in participating in that, we're currently finishing up Lady Boss by Jackie Collins, and next month we will be reading Mother of Pearl by Melinda Haynes. You can find the breakdown of those books in the description below, but I hope you will participate if you would like to. We also do a weekly read every Wednesday, a throwback Thursday. Series Saturday has resumed, though those will just pop up here and there. It won't be every Saturday. And then, of course, I have other bonus videos. Currently making my way through my ABC Author Challenge books and, of course, the 25 Days of Bookmas books. So if you haven't already, please give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on a thing. So the next book we're going to be reading for the 25 Days of Bookmas book is Dust by Joan Frances Turner. So we'll see how I enjoy this one, and hopefully I will have an update for you soon as far as that one goes. But let's go ahead and talk about The Rainmaker. So before I talk about it, the premise of the book is following Rudy, and he is finishing up law school. One of his classes, they have to go give advice to some senior citizens, and he ends up meeting this couple who has a son who's dying of leukemia, and the insurance company is refusing to pay. And so that's the premise of the book. He ends up taking on the case, and that's what the book is about. So going in, that's why it was my least anticipated, because I'm thinking, oh, it's about litigation and lawyers, and I'm not going to enjoy this. Like a big insurance company, like it's not going to be enjoyable for me. And I was wrong. It's really more about Rudy and his character, and this litigation just happens to be part of his journey. So absolutely loved it. I'm going to go through, I'm using the CAWPILE rating system this year. I will leave the person who created the system, her channel, down in the description below, along with Emily Jean Blatt's channel, who is where I learned about it from. But I absolutely love this system. You have 7 different sections that you kind of break the book down over, and you rate each section, and then you average it out. So for The Rainmaker, as far as characters go, I gave it a 9. I thought the characters were really, really well developed. You really felt connected to them, and just pulls you in right away because you wanting to see what happens with these characters. You're wondering what's going to happen with Rudy, and just very, very well developed characters. Atmosphere, I did only give a 7, which is still really good. It's on the lower end of the really good range. And the atmosphere, I don't know. I thought he did a really good job building the atmosphere. It's just not necessarily an atmosphere that I wanted to be in, because you have law school, and then you have like corporate lawyers and such, and then you have him in like a seedy section of town and whatnot. And so the atmosphere was well built. It's just not all that enjoyable. But that's where Rudy was, and it probably wasn't very enjoyable for him either. Writing style, I gave an 8. I thought, again, the author did a really good job, as it was easy to read and follow along. But it does get to the point where it's kind of litigation heavy, and so that probably dropped it down. But even so, like, still done really well. Plot, I gave a 7. Again, I thought the plot was done pretty well. It made sense. There was just a few things that kind of dropped that down. There's kind of like this underlying plot line with this married woman that I don't know. I think that's what dropped it down for me. Intrigue, I gave an 8. I was really invested in knowing what happens with these characters. I mean, you kind of had an idea what was going to happen, which is probably why it's not higher than it is, but you were invested in these characters and in this case and knowing what was going to happen. So, logic was 7. Again, the married woman plot line, that's what dropped it down for me. Like, I think that was kind of unnecessary, and I don't know, I just didn't enjoy that one, and it didn't really fit for me. Enjoyment, I gave a 9 though. I really, really enjoyed this book, especially being what it was, being, like a lawyer litigation book. I thought it was really, really enjoyable. So that gives the average rating of 7.85, which transfers to a 4-star rating. So, like I said, very, very enjoyable. So, like I said, character wise, you're really pulled in. I really thought it was going to be mainly focused on the litigation and the case and everything, and that really doesn't come into play until towards the end of the book. So I thought that was done really, really well. And then you have the beginning of the book where Rudy is finishing law school and he's trying to find a job, and he thought he had a job lined up, but he kind of gets screwed over. And I don't know, I think what made this book so enjoyable is you have Rudy who's becoming a lawyer, but he doesn't even like lawyers. And so it kind of highlights why people don't really like lawyers and kind of that corporate aspect that goes along with being a lawyer in some cases. And it highlights that and it calls attention to that while showing why Rudy wanted to be a lawyer. Um, and he kind of has these ideals that don't really fit within the profession, which is what you want to see, and that's one reason why he's able to get these people to trust him with this case. And I think, it's really about Rudy's journey to becoming a lawyer and how the whole profession kind of shuts him down too. Um, and then once you get into the case, the defending attorneys are what's problematic with the profession. And so you see that as well. And I liked how the author really highlighted that. And I liked how the focus was on Rudy and his journey versus the actual case itself. And like I said, you don't really get into that until farther in the book, more towards the end, then the case kind of comes to the forefront. And so that whole plot line and everything and his how he connects to his clients, and it's not just about the case for him, it's about doing what's right, because there's multiple times where it's like, well, you could take this deal and you can walk away with this much money. And he does it, his clients trust him, and he could have easily swayed them in that direction, but it's about, he knows in the end, no amount of money is gonna make what this company did right. And so in the end, it's not about that for the clients. It's about calling attention to what they did. Um, and so, he recognizes that and he doesn't let greed overtake him. He's doing what's right, no matter how hard that is. And so I absolutely love it. And the whole reason he became a lawyer in the first place is because I think it's his stepdad doesn't like lawyers or something like that. Like, it's in the very beginning of the book, and just his whole reasoning for becoming a lawyer. Oh no, it's his father. Sorry, it's his actual father. So it's like, my decision. This is the very first line. My decision to become a lawyer was irrevocably sealed when I realized my father hated the legal profession. So, I mean, that's the whole reason he became a lawyer, and it's just kind of funny. Um, and yeah, this, I don't know, I just like how he hates and loves the profession at the same time. And like I said, it really does highlight the problematic areas and why people are distrustful of lawyers, from the high corporate lawyers down to he's able to get a job finally with kind of like a seedy lawyer, I guess. And so those lawyers are, at the hospitals trying to hustle. Like the moment that somebody comes in injured, they're right there to pounce and like, we can help you, go with us. And he kind of doesn't like that. He doesn't like it at all. Um, and so you have both ends, corporate greed, and then the ones that are just trying to hustle. And then you have Rudy, who's somewhere in the middle. And I marked one page. This is towards the back of the book. It's on page 261. But I marked it because this is when he really starts to see his client as a person, I think, and starts to understand just what he's fighting for. So he ends up becoming friends with Donnie Ray, who's the one with leukemia and who's dying. Um, so it says Donnie Ray was too weak to talk on the phone an hour ago, so I drive to their house in Granger. It's late September and I don't remember the exact date, but Donnie Ray was first diagnosed over a year ago. Dot's eyes are red when she comes to the door. I think he's about gone, she says through sniffles. And I don't know, that really, at that point, it's real to him. Like, he's losing this friend too. It's not just about the case or about getting money for Dottie Ray or calling attention to this company. It's real for him because he's made friends with this family and with Donnie Ray, and he's losing him too. So that one really, tugs on your heartstrings there. But yeah, I think how well the characters were written, like it really pulls you in. And so this is one of the reasons why I'm doing like the ABC author challenge, why I had my husband and my sister-in-law pick out books so I can open, doing a 25 days of Bookmas, because you'll find gems. And this book I would never have picked up in a million years, never. Because I had this preconceived notion of what it was about, and I didn't think I would enjoy it. Like proof as because it's so far down on my list. Um, and I ended up really enjoying it, and it ended up getting 4 stars from me. So that's one of the reasons why I really encourage you guys to try to, get outside your comfort zone. Like, yes, you may not think you'll enjoy that book, but you might, and you might find a hidden gem that you really, really like. Is this the type of book I'm going to want to read all the time? No. Like, at the heart of it, there's still litigation and everything, but this book's going to stick with me for a while. And I'm actually going to hang on to this book, and I want to at some point use it as book of the month because I think there's some great talking points in this book. And so I really want to use it as book of the month. But overall, like a very, very solid read, very, very enjoyable. I wish the whole plot line with the married woman hadn't been included. Just because I don't know, I think that part kind of fell short for me when the rest of the book was so good. But um, if you've never read John Grisham, you're like me, where you think you're not going to enjoy him, give him a try. Especially this book, like I thought it was very, very enjoyable. Excuse the lighting, the clouds are moving in, but I'm almost done anyway. I think actually I am done. I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys here. If you read The Rainmaker, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. And or if you've ever read a book that you thought you wouldn't enjoy and you really ended up enjoying for whatever reason, let me know down below as well. And I will see you guys next time. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.